G'day, welcome to another episode of Jez Beer Reviews. We're going to review a beer that SwillinGrog has sent me. Miller Lite. Now, Miller Lite is a famous American beer. It's one of the first light beers to hit the American market. It's 4.2% ABV, I believe, in this 355ml bottle, which has the Vortex bottle, as you can see, that ripples out the neck. Now, thinking about Miller Lite, like Budweiser and all that, have done a lot of sponsoring to the bowling community. Not as much anymore, but they still do sponsor a little bit. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and in the Wisconsin and Racine area, they sponsor some events, some Miller events. So, I thought I'd whack on my bowling shirt here, the good old Amateur Pros. That's my bowling team. And we'll review this beer that SwillinGrog sent me. He also sent me a couple other beers as well, which is exciting. So let's try this Miller, because he did say it was pretty good. Now, I've had Coors. They do sell Coors Light in Australia. So just go over to Coors. They call it light beer in Australia because it's not light. And so I can compare this to Coors, which is great. So you see your appearance, nice golden appearance. A lot like Coors, and you got one finger of white head, pretty bright white head. Now the smell. Yeah, it reminds me a bit like Miller Genuine Draft. And it is an adjunct beer, so it's got that adjunct smell to it, but it's nothing too strong at all. It smells like beer. Okay, so let's get into the tasting. Cheers, and a big cheers to SwillinGrog for sending me this beer. Okay, it's light flavour, that light taste. It's got that Miller flavour to it, big time. Miller Genuine Draft. That's what it reminds me of. But on a lighter scale, not as strong, of course, due to the calories and a lot lighter. But it's a light bodied beer. I'm picking up a bit more sweetness now, but then it finishes a bit like Coors, just mellows out and finishes pretty dry. It's like a lighter version of Miller Genuine Draft. I didn't think it'd be that close, but it is. Must be a similar yeast they use for the beer. Very refreshing. I imagine on a very hot day, like we've had a heat wave here a couple of weeks ago, 40-degree days, high humidity, this beer would go down very nice. Same as Coors. Coors Light. They're refreshing beers this time of year. Just got a storm going through here at the moment. Pretty loud, isn't it? I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but we've had a couple of big cracks, and I've got my little dog walker running around here. She's peeking as dog storm comes along, but yeah, so the heat wave's gone away for the moment, but it will be back, and this is the kind of beer you want to have. But you cannot buy this. You can only buy this. I'm pretty sure SwillinGrog got this from an online shop, so you can't buy it from Dan Murphy's or anywhere. I think it's alright. It's not too bad for a light beer. It's alright. I think if I had SwillinGrog sent me two, and I started the other one to have a bit of a talk about with SwillinGrog. But I think you had like maybe 2 or 3, and you start getting used to that flavour. I've been drinking a lot of Fat Yak lately, which is a lot more because I hoppier pale ale. Going back to lagers, there's a lot of difference. But it's a bit like Miller Genuine Draft. Once you get going on it, you can drink it. So it's pretty enjoyable. I can't remember I scored the Coors. But that's what we did. But Miller Lite rounded up for a score. It's definitely around the B+. I'd go a B+. Can't remember I scored Coors, but it's around the same as Coors. But a B+ for this. I'll put this into, I know it's like American light beer. It's around our mid-strength range, around that 4.2. I'd put it around mid-range, bit higher mid. It's a hard one to score, but we'll go B+. It's very solid, a very good heat wave beer. Very popular in the States, as you all know who watches. It's very popular. And it's a cool cap, so I'll be keeping that and chucking a magnet. I think there's some magnets around here. It's a pretty cool cap. So a big thanks to SwillinGrog for sending me this beer. Enjoyable beer, a quenching, a summer refreshing kind of beer. So thanks for watching this episode. I'll catch you all later.